Hello, everybody. It's Rude. Welcome to the long-awaited Hurk Greatsword Guide version 2. So, I'm gonna say this right now at the beginning. My type of music that I listen the type of music that I listen to is very chill and relaxing, and it's basically the only type of music I play. So, if my music ain't like your hardcore dubstep, your hardcore rock, I'm sorry. I don't listen to those type of music. I'm more of a chill person when it comes to my type of music. So you will be hearing that. The links to the songs will be in the description. Now, stay towards the end. This video is only like 20 minutes, I think. Stay towards the end. Towards the end, I do have some things that I will talk about. I'll talk about the Hurk ranking, the artifacts you will need, and the plans that I have with this game. So either way, hopefully I'll enjoy this guide, and I will see y'all in the next one. We're gonna start this with your first active here, which is Berserk. Berserk is a skill that Hurk have, and not a lot of Hurks use this, and not a lot of main Hurks use this. For the one reason is that the requirements for it is unnecessary, and for 15 seconds, all that SP, not really needed. So basically, with Berserk, when you activate Berserk, you'll have this reddish aura around you. It increases your attack by 900 for 15 seconds. You're unable to get stunned or knocked down for 15 seconds. You recover stamina over time for 15 seconds. And when you activate this move and you activate your impenetrable, it will reset the cooldown for this move. But do know, when you restart the cooldown for your Berserk over and over by blocking, the cooldown will go down a whole lot faster. And it will deplete before you know it. First it will be 15 seconds, then it will be 12, then it will be 9, then you'll notice it will be like 5, and then bam, all that SP gone. Next active here is Execution. Execution is one of your knockdown actives. You can use this out of Onslaught, out of your first or second, or even your third hit out of Onslaught to guarantee a knockdown. But do know, you can use it by itself also, but do know, when it comes to this move here, it all depends on your awakening. The higher you have your rank in your awakening, meaning rank 3 or rank 3, rank 4 or rank 5, it's almost a guaranteed knockdown every single time. Rank 1 and rank 2 will almost never get you a knockdown unless it's a very lower level boss. When you have your awakening skill, basically when you use this move, it consumes all of your awakening stack, meaning it will add on the extra damage from your awakening to that move. The knockdown factor of this move all depends on your stack of your awakening. 3 and above, and you will most likely be able to knock down the boss. You may be wondering, what? You can do Judgment twice? Yes, you can do Judgment twice, and I will explain that to you right now. The way how you're gonna get it is basically 2 ways. Well, it's more, but the second way applies to all of them. The first way is Judgment. Do your 2 hits of Judgment, then you do Charge, and then you press your Judgment key again. But do know it's 1 frame. 1 frame. If you miss that 1 frame, you won't be able to actually get the second hit of Judgment out of that way of doing it. The second way is basically any of your smashes except for Full Moon. When you do any of your smashes and you do Judgment, and you do Charge into Judgment again, you'll be able to do the second Judgment. If you want a simpler way on how to do it, basically press your Judgment key, either your smash or your charge, and then spam your Judgment key again. That's the simplest way of how I can say it. That's how you get double Judgment. Also, the damage increase when you have more stacks of Awakening. So Awakening is a very important thing, people. We'll get to that in a little bit. Now your next active here is Terminus. Terminus is basically Hurk's lockdown. You can only use this as a lockdown or a way to avoid AoEs and certain unblockables. Now, like I said in my first version of the Hurk guide, is that this, no matter how much of a high rank you have this, it won't do a lot of damage. It's meant to just be as a whole only. It's not supposed to do that much damage like how Orisha's lockdown does and how Land's lockdown does. It's not supposed to do a lot of damage. It's meant to hold the boss so either your party members or you can survive. or you basically your party members do damage and you can hold the boss down or avoid AoEs and unblockables and vice versa, and etc. and etc. and etc. The requirements for this 1000 SP, so that's basically all your SP. Next move here is Ultimatum. Ultimatum is a very important move for Hurk because you can use this to reset the drag of Full Moon. Now there's basically a couple of ways on how to pull off this move. You can do it stationary, which activates Deflection. The requirements for it is 250 SP, plus if you use your Onslaught, that's 400 SP. Now, when I say reset the drag, if you haven't noticed, in Full Moon's entire drag, the entire move, the drag is very long, and half of the time you will get hit if you're fighting a boss that has a very quick attack pattern. When it comes to that, you would use Ultimatum so you can like reset the drag. Now, there's multiple ways on how to do it. The majority of Hurks either do crescent forward and then Full Moon either diagonal or left, and then use Ultimatum so they can reset the drag, which actually goes straight back into execute. And then if you do charge or blockade, it goes into crescent, and then you can do Full Moon again, and then basically rinse and repeat. It is literally that simple of a move to use. Everybody can use it. Just using it right and not wasting it is difficult. Now I'm gonna say this right now before I forget. When it comes to this move, I don't want you to depend on it to actually get the deflection. I want you to depend on your own skill of blocking with blockade or charge to get it, or doing blockade cancel, because because if you literally use this move just to get the deflection down, he's doing his charge as a Hurk, what you're supposed to do is stop his charge. So basically, as a Hurk, you're supposed to go back to his running pattern where he's about to go, charge up your Ultimatum, and then as soon as he's about to hit you, let go, get the deflection, stops him from moving, so everybody can continue doing their consistent damage. That's what you're supposed to do with this move. Now, there are certain bosses that you're actually going to use this just to get the deflection down. If it comes out, it comes out. You can't really do much about it. But I want you to really not depend on this move to actually get the deflection and your onslaught hit. Next move here is charge. Charge is basically Hurk's dodge. It consumes stamina, of course. It also activates your impenetrable effect when you block with it, because you can block with it, but the invincibility, or the frame, I should say, to block with this is very limited. So I do, like I said multiple times, do not depend on charge to block, because it's not 100% guaranteed. Plus, if you block with it also, it will activate your revenge, and your revenge, basically you could use it to get your health back. And it also activates your deflection, but out of charge or blockade, when you get the deflection, the requirements for it is still 100 SP, and plus with the extra 3 hits that you will get, that is exactly 250 SP. And it also can be chained with blockade, and etc, and etc, and etc. Okay, next move, Crescent. Crescent is your 4th smash. It's a very important smash, so you basically have to rank it up. Everything that I'm talking about, and I say you have to rank up, you have to rank up. So, Crescent. Crescent is your 4th smash. Basically the combo for Crescent is Crescent, normal, into execute. And the alternative version of that is Crescent into charge or blockade into execute. Now you can do blockade cancel out of Crescent to get an extra Crescent. The same thing with blockade cancel. You can do blockade cancel again out of execute to get an extra execute. It is a very weird mechanic. I'm not going to go too much into it, but that's basically how you can use blockade cancel to cancel from Crescent into another Crescent. Simple. Very simple. Alright, next move here is Decimate. This is a very useless move. Don't even worry about ranking it up. It's not really important. Don't even waste your SP. Don't even waste your AP and just move on with life, because you're not really gonna throw this move out that much if you got blockade canceling down to a factor. So yeah, it's not really an important move. No point in ranking it up. That's basically it. Moving on. Deflection. Deflection is one of Hurk's moves that actually make Hurk Hurk. If Hurk didn't have this move, he wouldn't have been himself. So there are 3 ways on how to use Deflection. Basically, the first way is normal standard deflection, which activates from your smash. When the boss is about to hit you, that's when you actually press your smash key and you'll get the deflection, and then you can basically do your onslaught barrage after that. The next way on how to do it is ultimatum. Ultimatum, when you use it by itself, costs 250 SP, and then when you use it, it costs an extra 100 SP, and then when you get your onslaught, it costs an extra 150. So that's a lot of SP that you're using. That's why I say, do not depend on ultimatum for your deflection, because the requirements and the SP that you need to put everything together is not really worth it when you're losing all that SP when you can put out more damage. But whatever, it's whatever you want to do. So that's basically on that. And the third way it can be activated is either out of your charge or your blockade, which activates your impenetrable, which gives you your deflection. Sweet, right? Amazing. Blockade. Blockade is Hurk's block. Requirements for it: 8 stamina. Very important move. This is what makes Hurk Hurk. If Hurk didn't have this, even though he's not going to have it when he gets his secondary weapon, he would have been straight trash. So basically, Blockade activates your impenetrable effect and also activates your revenge effect. And basically these go hand in hand together. When you hit, the more in rank you have impenetrable, the less damage you take from blocking. Because when you block with Blockade, you're not just blocking the damage, you're absorbing the damage, which is like the same thing like Karak's absorb. You're absorbing the damage, and when you have your revenge basically is able to do more damage and also give you more health. Very important move. Now this is what I'm going to want you to do, is that you're going to want to master Blockade canceling. Blockade canceling is a very important move. Blockade canceling is what makes you a good Hurk, honestly. Not just getting the deflection, because every Hurk can get the damn deflection. Using Blockade and using Blockade cancel is what makes you a good Hurk. If you learn how to do Blockade cancel, you will be able to survive in raids, because everybody and their grandmother can deflect the boss with a Hurk. Blocking is what makes you a master with Hurk. So that's one thing you're going to want to get. The way how you're going to do Blockade cancel is that you're going to do your charge and your normal, or Blockade and your normal, which basically is your space bar and your normal. And with this move, you can cancel either execute or crescent into another move. Basically, simple explanation is that you can do execute into Blockade cancel into crescent, or you can do crescent into Blockade cancel into execute, or you can do you can do execute into Blockade cancel into another execute, and it's the same thing also for crescent. Very difficult to explain, so let me try to explain it again if you didn't understand. You can do execute into Blockade cancel into crescent. Simple. You can do crescent into Blockade cancel into execute. Simple. You can do execute into Blockade cancel into another execute. Simple. And you can do crescent into Blockade cancel into crescent into Blockade cancel into crescent. Simple. Very, very simple. That's just how you do it. Like, everybody think Hurk is like a brain dead character that revolves around spacebar. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of true, but to fully understand the way how he plays, it's very technical. Simple. Like, you have to get your fingers to actually understand what each other are doing. So if you can get that Blockade cancel down, you're in the clear. And also, you can reset the cooldown of Judgment when you blockade normal mobs. Simple. Execute. Execute is your first smash, my friend. And it's one of those smashes that is really important, so you're gonna want to rank it up to rank A. Now, depending on the stack of awakening you have, you will do more damage with any of your smashes. That's just how it is. So basically, that's it on that move. Like I said, you could do blockade cancel into another execute, into blockade cancel into another execute. You're gonna have to practice these. I do recommend going into a boat, going to a private boat, and practice away. That's the only way you're gonna really get better with this character, and also soloing. But like I said multiple times, I recommend Black Hammer if you want to solo. Makes things a whole lot easier for your life. If you're new to the character and you want to fully understand the character, Black Hammer is the person you're gonna want to solo. Now, the way how you're gonna get from place to place as a Hurk, their movement, is that you're gonna do execute, charge and blockade, normal, charge and blockade, execute, rinse and repeat. It can also be done with normal, charge and blockade, execute, charge and blockade, normal, charge and blockade, execute. Full Moon. Full Moon is an extension of Crescent. Full Moon is, like I said, one of Hurk's strongest smashes, even though it's an extension and then people get mad when you say that. Full Moon is a fucking extension, get over it. It's an extension of Crescent, and is also your strongest smash with... It's just confusing to put. Like, let's just say it's very strong and it has a long drag. Now, what I recommend with this is that you use Ultimatum to actually reset the drag of Full Moon, because Full Moon has a very long drag, and that's the real point of Ultimatum. Not to deflect, it's just to reset the drag of Full Moon. Impenetrable. Impenetrable is one of her skills that you are gonna really need to rank up very early. The reason for that is that it activates from either your blockade or your charge, and it reduces the damage you take from blocking, because when you block with blockade or charge, you will be losing health. So you're really gonna want to rank this up, because it's a very important move. Plus, also, when you block with blockade or charge, you'll be able to get the deflection, which requires 100 SP, and then basically you do your Onslaught barrage after that. And it also triggers your revenge, and revenge is a very important skill, because revenge is how you're gonna get your health back from losing it with blockade or charge. Massacre. Massacre, useless move, don't worry about it, moving on. Onslaught. Onslaught is Hurk's next skill. It triggers after using deflection, which opens up the boss's weakness for 3 hits from any of your smashes. And that also includes judgment, because judgment also counts as a smash. Now, if I remember correctly, the input for each hit is exactly 0.21 seconds. They may have increased it, but that's what I remember. So basically, that's that on that move. Okay, to do your Onslaught barrage, if you get execute first, you're gonna do charge backwards, and then you're gonna do Crescent and Full Moon. Now, if you get Crescent first and you have an attack speed above 40, you can do Crescent, Full Moon, charge backwards, and then do execute. Now, if you have attack speed below 40 or like 35, the alternative for you is that you can do Crescent and Full Moon, then do charge to the left. You're gonna press your left key and your forward key at the same time, which will switch your camera angle facing the boss. Then you do execute, and that's how you get it. Relentless. Oh my god, I don't know how much I've talked about this move. I've talked about it about 10 times. Alright, so Relentless. Relentless basically allows you to link your normals, your smashes, and your charge and blockade together. And like I said earlier, charge and blockade activates your impenetrable effect, which actually grants you your awakening buff. In your awakening buff, there are 5 stages of it, and those 5 stages give you an increase in your attack, defense, and attack speed. Your next move here, Revenge. Revenge is which you're going to use to actually get your health back. This activates from either doing charge or blockade, which activates your impenetrable, which gives you your revenge buff. Revenge, basically, when you block, you'll get this buff which stacks up to 5. The more in stacks you have it, the likely chances you will crit and actually do more damage when you use either any of your smashes. And also you can use it to get your health back, which is what you're going to use it, which is what you're going to do to actually get your health back when you lose health with blocking, with blockade or charge. Transcendence allows you to constantly attack without worrying about stamina. The cost of it? Your health. When you keep attacking with either any of your smashes or either even using charge or blockade to actually dodge out of the way, you will lose health over time. But they have revamped this entire skill, so you have to stop at a certain point. At a certain point, they stop you, and then you will basically be in the tired animation, and usually because of what they did, you usually die as Hurk a lot more, honestly. You stay alive, honestly, but you will get hit. Vortex. This move activates when you're in your running state. When you hit your second burst sprint, hold down your smash key and you will do a whirlwind. Vortex. Useless move, just unlock it, don't even rank it, don't even waste your time. And Slate here, people. Oh god. So we're gonna talk about this first. We got 3 things to really talk about in 3 different sections. So the first set of things I want to talk about is the Hurk ranking. There is high tier, mid tier, and low tier, and we don't talk about the last tier because it's not important. High tier is soloers. They do nothing but fucking solo. They never play with people, and etc. and etc. Mid tier are the people that have the potential to solo and can solo but choose not to and actually enjoys the company of playing with people. And then basically low tier is people who play Hurk but they don't know how to solo. And basically everybody can get into high tier. You just need to actually master the character down and solo a lot, and then you'll most likely be a high tier Hurk. The more you play the character, the better chance you will have of understanding the character. Now the second thing I want to talk about is the artifacts, because I know there's going to be somebody that's going to ask, what artifact should I get? As a greatsword user, there's only one artifact you should get, and that is a Werewolf Paw. Do know for these artifacts you can get the greater version of it if you want. It's your preference on whatever you want to do. For greatsword, most Hurks care not really that much about attack, but attack speed. Attack speed is what everybody as a Hurk really cares about, because attack speed allows you to constantly attack, and basically the more speed you have, the better chances you will be able to put out more DPS, because the lower you have it, the lower chance you put out DPS. Now the second artifact you are going to need is a greater cat statue. The reason you're going to need a greater cat statue is because when Hurk's secondary weapon comes out, the majority of his moves are going to require SP. To get your stamina back, it's a SP move, and if you have a cat statue, you will have that SP, so you can actually use that move to get your stamina back. Because with greatsword, you don't have to worry about stamina because of transcendence. When it comes to Hurk's Tide, you have to worry about stamina because with that weapon you run out of stamina before you even know it. So the third artifact that you're gonna really need is what is it? Is a Succubus Fang. There we go, I remembered it. The third one you're gonna need is a Succubus Fang. Those are really the only 3 artifacts you're gonna need. The reason I said the third one you're gonna need is a Succubus Fang is because in No Man or New Main, I'm gonna just call it New Main. I don't care the pronunciation of it or the name of it. Basically, when it comes to that raid, having an increase in attack speed and SP is not really that necessarily important. That raid is very long. It'll take you about 20 to 35 minutes to actually do that entire raid if you have a very strong party with you. And the majority of the time you will be losing more health. So Succubus Fang will help you, because when you use your Succubus Fang, the damage you do, you will be getting health back from, of course, the bosses, the mobs, and etc. and etc. Now the last thing I want to talk about is the guides. Basically people, I only got 3 more videos I'm doing on this game to put on my channel. And don't worry, they will all be stretched out, so they won't be like coming out a week after week. Basically, the next thing I plan to do is actually the Lin Glaive guide version 3 that will go up sometime April, hopefully. I said hopefully. It may go up later than that, but hopefully April. The second guide after that is going to be Hurk's Tide. I'm gonna wait at least 1 or 2.5 months to actually put out that guide. Give other people chances to actually be able to do guides and etc. and etc. and etc. And then the last thing is basically when Lin's secondary weapon comes out. Those are basically my last 3 plans that I have for this game. Anything more than that, they will all be streamed on my Twitch, so if you want to keep up with me, just follow me on my Twitter and my Twitch, because when I stream it's very random, it's not every single day. So basically that's all I wanted to talk about towards the end, people. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this guide. Do know the next guide is going to be a little bit more flashier and most likely shorter. So either way, that is all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all next time, people. Peace.